The very first thing to do is make sure all our parts are present and neatly laid out, so that Heather can show us how they all go together. Let's get started. Take the footboard and a side rail. Position the side rail as shown here. Now take two 20mm bolts. Screw one of the bolts into the lower bolt hole of the footboard leg, but leave it proud. This will allow us to hook on the side rail as shown here. And then we put the other 20mm bolt in the top hole and we do this up finger tight. And we want to repeat this process for the other side rail. We do exactly the same to attach the headboard. Our bed frame should now look like this. We're now going to attach the cross rails. Locate this hole in the side rail. Take two 40mm bolts and two nuts and bolt one of the cross rails to the side rails. Don't tighten the nut and bolt at this stage, just leave it finger tight. We need to repeat this for the two remaining cross rails, bolting them to the side rails at each end. Now we bolt the centre rail to the cross rails using three 45mm bolts and nuts. Make sure the centre rail has the holes facing upwards. This centre bolt is a temporary bolt, but it will allow us to position the centre rail correctly so that we can bolt it to the two end cross rails. Once we've done that, we can then remove that centre bolt. Now take a support leg. We're going to bolt this to the centre rail using a 40mm bolt and a 45mm bolt. The 45mm bolt goes through the centre rail and the cross rail, but the 40mm bolt just goes through the centre rail. Tighten the nuts up finger tight and make sure that the support leg is vertical. We now need to secure the other two support legs to the centre rail. This time we use two 40mm bolts for each support leg. Now we need to make sure the bed is square. We do this by measuring the bed from corner to corner. When the bed is square, both measurements are the same. If you have a difference, move one side of the bed carefully until the measurements are both the same. Then you can go round the whole bed and tighten every nut and bolt. Let's take two pieces of sprung wood, a centre cap and two end caps, and position them as shown. The caps can be quite difficult to get onto the wood, so soak them in hot water for a couple of minutes. Not boiling water, but about the temperature of a hot bath. Take the centre cap and shake all the water off it. Now slot each piece of sprung wood into both sides. You want to do the same for both end caps. Your bed spring should now look like this. Position your bed spring as shown. Push down on the end caps to lock them into the holes on the side rail. This may require a little bit of force. And do the same with the centre cap on the centre rail. You need to repeat this process for the other 11 bed springs. Now take a finial and pull it apart like a cracker, not like a broken egg or you'll damage it. Take the two halves of the finial and locate them on the headboard as shown. Squeezing them together will lock them into position. Repeat this along the top of the headboard and along the top of the footboard. And also along the bottom of the footboard. Now take a metal cap and push it into the top of one of the bedposts. Repeat this for the other 3 bedposts. Your bed is now fully assembled and ready for a mattress. Thank you for watching. and have a good night's sleep.